I'm Tracy.
And I'm Emma.
And we are
Curly Seams.
Hi, and welcome to today's show.
Hello.
It's a very rainy February day in the heart of Wiltshire.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
It certainly is.
Yeah, we're filming on the south coast of the UK, and we're going to be here to talk to you about quilting today.
All our sewing stuff
All our
today.
sewing stuff. Not
Hooray!
just sewing, not just quilting, we've got a bit of sewing, have we?
No,
I don't have anything
No,
about
it is
quilting. It's all
quilting.
quilting.
It is quilting.
It's a quilt show today. It's a quilt show.
It is indeed.
So you may have watched our previous episode where we talked about our knitting shenanigans, and today it's all about our quilting shenanigans. So I've got quite a few to talk about.
And I've got a couple of finishes as well.
Excellent. So why don't you grab yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a beverage of your choice and join us while we tell you what we've been up to.
Anyway, nice to have you with us. Thanks for joining us. If you don't know, we are two crafty cousins.
Oh, crafty cousins.
Crafty cousins.
We do a bit of quilting, a bit of knitting, a bit of sewing. There we go, all sorts really. Bit of baking, bit of gardening.
Yep.
So,
Whatever we can find the time to do.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of moaning sometimes as well, particularly about the weather. But
Well, today, it's just. I think it has stopped raining actually, but
it's a
bit
very
blustery today.
Yeah, it is. But
there we go. That's all right.
That's just par for the course. It's February.
It is, and we've got the heating on now. We've put the heating on.
We have. We're a
We've
little
got
chilly earlier, so
nice drink of hot water. So
yes.
we're good to go, I think.
We are. Yeah. So do you want to go first?
I can do. Yes, I have a couple of finished. Yeah. Yep. We have it's a layer cake. It's a layer cake, cut into halves, and then just alternated with a 5-inch cream square between it. So it's a Danish. So my mouth and my brain are not working together today.
No,
haven't quite got there. It's a Danish Schmidt layer cake that I had cut into. It had some solids in it that I wanted for another project. So I'd already sort of gone into it.
Yes.
So it's been unwrapped and everything. So it needed using. So sometimes you just want that really quick, easy fix.
Yeah, well, these fabrics are so lovely. I don't think you'd have wanted to have done much else with it, to be honest. The fabrics are doing all the work, aren't they? Here, so
they're gorgeous, aren't
gorgeous,
they?
really are. This colour palette. I mean, I would call this a mid-century modern kind of colour palette. So that's late 50s, 60s vibe going to it, which I particularly like, and you do too, don't you?
I do. Yeah. It's one of my favourites.
Nice. Very, very nice.
So it was a quick, easy fix. I did a pantograph over and all over on it, which is called Deja Vu, which was from Urban Elements.
Yeah.
And it worked all right. I had the most awful trouble when I set off because the top tension on it was just horrendous, and I spent about 3 days with the machine. And on Tracy's recommendation, changing one thing at a time. So new needle, try it again. No, unpick. Change this, change that, cleaned it, rethreaded it, all of that, and nothing seemed to be working. And I said to Tracy, in the end, I had to drop the top tension down to about 3.25 to get something like reasonably good stitch, which was a little frustrating. And I think if I could have picked it up and thrown it out the window, I would have done at some points because it was just
tension issues are the one thing that people that sew get most frustrated about. So I think the secret is, if you know you've got a tension issue, just go away for a little while, have a cup of tea, sit and think about what was the last thing I did, What did I change last time? Have I done any changes? Am I using a new needle? Am I using different thread? When was the last time I cleaned my bobbin out? Okay, is it something to do in quilting? Is it something to do with the batting that I'm using? It can be a whole host of things, but it's usually going to be the simplest thing. So it's most likely that you haven't threaded your machine correctly. Or you haven't changed your needle, and that's probably a little bit dull. Or needles, by the way, when you take them out of the packet, don't assume that it's always a good needle, because you can get the bad batches. So test a couple, and if you still get in, you might want to put that to one side for the moment and then try again with a different packet. But then the needles are expensive, so I can see that you wouldn't necessarily want to do that. But in your case, I'm still thinking that possibly you had a little bit of lint stuck somewhere along the thread path.
The only other thing I could think was that, and I have given it a lot of thought since, I have dropped the bobbin casing.
Bobbin casings can go out of round.
And so, I wondered if that had something to do with it.
You can check it. You can look at it and check it and see whether it's spooling off correctly or not. And you get the little gauges, the thread tension gauges, make the tower gauges. They're branded under different names, but tower make the gauges, and it emulates what's going off in your bobbin race area. And if you are finding when you put that in the gadget and you pull the thread through to test the bobbin tension, which is what it's actually testing. I don't have one to hand, but we could get one in a minute, I suppose, and show you what we're talking about. If you see that the gauge, which is measuring the thread tension, is wavering around, if the finger that's indicating it is moving like this, it suggests that something is wrong with your bobbin.
Right.
Was that what was happening?
Well, no, I didn't notice it really. I mean, I will have a look now you've said that.
But the thing is, the back tension is fine.
It is.
The back tension is fine. So that to me says that I think your bobbin tension was okay. So I'm still of a mind to think that you had a little piece of lint somewhere stuck in the top thread path, which would have increased your top tension, which is why you had to decrease your top tension to get it to look a nice stitch on the top. So
I might have a look at that then, because I have
lint is the worst enemy of tension, full stop. So it only has to be a smidge of a loose thread, sort of fibre that's come off, and it can be enough to throw it. So, which is why it's important, just really, really clean it out thoroughly. But check your thread path. And in this case, you just mentioned to me earlier you thought possibly that the thread may also might have.
I did, because I did another quilt with the same thread afterwards, and it was exactly the same. I had to do exactly the same with that. So it could just been a bad reel. Not a bad reel, but you know what I mean.
A thread can get old. And it doesn't perform in the same way. So I was watching a video on a subscription service I've got actually it's for people who are having telequilters, and the lady that runs that was talking about oiling her thread, and I've never seen this before. This is brand new to me. I'd never seen this at all. I was aware that you could add a drop of oil to the thread path, and I was aware that you could put your thread into a plastic bag, then pop it in the freezer overnight. And that rehydrates the thread to some extent. Now, a lot of people have poo-pooed this idea, saying that there's no science behind that. However, I did look into this somewhere about, and there is, because what it is doing, it's pulling the moisture that's in the core of the thread, deep inside the thread, out to the centre. So that's what the temperature variation is doing. So there is some science behind that. And I have done that a couple of times with black thread in particular, and found that it's performed better. But anyway, the lady talking about oiling her thread, she lives in a hot climate, and obviously it's dehydrating severely. She literally drenched her cone of thread in oil, and then let it dry for a little while, and then started using that, and there was no oil coming off it as you were running it through. No, it looked like there was tons of oil on it. But as it was going through the thread path, it was going through really nicely. So and for her that was working a treat. But I'd never seen that before, so that was brand new to me. That was. So, but presumably, you know, if you live in a hot climate or whether you've got a very dry, if the humidity is low, if it's dry, is that right?
Yeah.
If there's not a lot of moisture in the air, or if it's pulling the moisture out of the air, then it's likely that your thread's not going to be as strong as possibly as it should be because it's not as hydrated as it should be.
Yeah.
So, but I would think that would cause snapping and
it wasn't
doing that.
No.
So I still think it was something in the thread path.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have a look at that.
Yeah.
Anyway, my finish. So yeah, so quite pleased with it. Yeah, a bit scrappy, but yeah.
Don't you think sometimes we complicate
quilts? Oh yeah, we overthink things, don't we?
It's lovely to have just nice fabric, nice simple pattern. It just says patchwork quilt, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I love it. Really nice.
Yeah, and so I used that pantograph, and then on Tracy's advice again, she said to me, you need to do, if you're doing a pantograph, you need to keep doing it, you know, sort of 2 or 3 times so that you get the flow and you get the muscle memory of it as well. So this was just an old quilt top that I had in the cupboard. I actually did it for a class a long time ago. It was a jelly roll quilt. So I just put this on to practice the pantograph again.
Yeah.
And it was much better. We go that way. Yeah. So it's just a little
nice
hexagon jelly roll. But it gave me an opportunity to use the pantograph again, and I've just loaded another one on actually that I'm going to use it again for a 3rd time. So
just keep on doing it. You'll really get the flow of it, and eventually after you've done the same, these are for freehand pantographs obviously. Once you've done them 3, 4, 5, 10 times, you start to do it, and you've got to the point where you know the pantograph inside out because you start thinking about what you're going to cook for dinner or
while you're doing it.
You can start to multitask while you're doing it, so then you know that you've got the your hands and your brain is talking to each other without you having to think too much. So brilliant, well done.
I was pleased with it actually, so that was good.
Excellent, yeah. So how are you finding the pantograph now?
I like it, yes. I'm still struggling a bit with the setting up stage of it, and then positioning it again when you roller it on.
Yes.
I start off with this one a bit sort of cocky, thinking I've got this, I know what I'm doing, and then it came back to bite me a little bit. So I think I need to spend a little bit more time sort of in that setting up stage before I set off.
Yeah, your foundation prep work is really important, making sure your quilt's nice and square. First of all, you've got to start with really square backing fabric.
Yeah.
So a lot of people forget that the backing fabric needs to be nice and square too. And your 2 side pieces don't necessarily have to be straight lines, but the top and the bottom where they're pinned to the roller definitely need to be parallel to each other.
Yeah.
Otherwise that can throw everything off.
Yeah.
And if it's slightly off centre, then the whole thing goes a bit cockeyed.
Skew-whiff.
A bit skew-whiffy, yeah. But yeah, it's good foundation habits for loading your quilt on the frame.
Yeah.
And then that's a good start.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's all down to practice.
It is, yeah.
The better. But knowing where to roll on, that's down to looking at your pattern and understanding where the best place would be, because not all patterns interlock, for example. So some patterns are very row based, and then others have little gaps where it feeds in and out of the previous row. So it's called interlocking, and I like the interlocking ones.
I think this is because it goes in sort of like a curve.
Yeah, well, this is a serpentine row, so it's not a straight row, it's a serpentine row. So these aren't actually interlocking. This is a quilt that is where the row, the design itself is doing this, so the one underneath is also doing that.
Right, okay.
So others actually literally go into the previous row. So there's lots of different types. And some are more difficult than others. Those with straight lines can be very difficult to do.
Yeah.
Those with circles on the freehand pantographs are hard to do as well.
I could do that.
It can be done, and I've seen people do them. So
I don't think I'm that brave at the minute.
Well, but I think you're doing the right thing. Stick with one, really get to know it well.
Yeah.
Then build up a small repertoire of, a dozen patterns over a period of time. Choose patterns to suit a variety of quilts. So a female quilt, a male quilt, kiddie quilts, a charity quilt, Christmas quilt, maybe a couple of holiday type things. So, but don't overdo it.
No.
Just stick with a small suite and really get to know them well.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah, good advice. Thank you.
That's fine. Tip of the day on pantograph.
Tip. Yes. I have got one more. Well, I'll do this quickly and then we'll move on to yours. This is just a. We did a little sort of scrappy project on Facebook over lockdown. This is one of my lockdown things. So again, this was just another little pantograph.
Yeah. I like that.
So that's just waiting for the borders to go on it. So
did you make this? Is this a pattern you made up or?
No, I think I saw it somewhere.
Nice.
Can't remember where, but just lots of scraps.
So it's like the start of courthouse steps, isn't
yes,
it?
It is. Yeah.
Like a little courthouse steps each. Nice fabric. So is this art gallery?
Just there's all sorts in there.
Yeah.
There's some plains. There's some Bonnie and Camille. There's I think it's Kaffe.
Yeah, Kaffe. Yeah,
there's all sorts in there.
Talking of him, I just read his biography.
Oh yes, you said.
Yeah. Oh, loved it.
Really enjoyed it. You said.
Really enjoyed it. I read it cover to cover.
Look out for that one.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable read. That man has history.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
He's done a lot of things in his life. He knows a lot of people. Interesting reads. If you get the chance to read that, I would recommend that.
Good.
Yeah, I think it's called Dreaming in Colour.
Okay.
I think that was the name of the I'll check it, put it below. But anyway, very rare that I read a quilting kind of book cover to cover.
Yeah.
There's been 2 so far. That was the latest one. And the other one was Nicholas Ball's improv quilting.
Oh, yes.
Which I really loved as well.
Yeah, Quilts from the Attic.
Yeah, Quilts from the Attic, yeah, Nicholas Ball.
Yeah.
His books, I really enjoyed that as well, because felt like he was talking to you as you're reading it. You can hear
his voice.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking about that actually as a family. When you read, do you read in the third person, or do you read as though you can hear that person narrating it to you?
I suppose it depends what you're reading.
Does it? Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you know Nicholas, don't you?
Yeah. So all the way through.
Because you've worked with him.
Yeah. It was his voice speaking to me all the way through, and saying.
But would that be the case for somebody who perhaps doesn't know him?
I don't know. I don't know. No. Apparently there's 2 schools, isn't there? Some people hear voices and some people don't.
I hear voices all the time. Not always in a good way, I have to say.
No.
Anyway, got a finish?
No. I have a couple of finishes.
Right.
Let's start with this one first, shall we? The little one.
Oh, lovely.
It's a little cutie one.
Oh, that's so nice.
So this is for a new baby coming along.
Lovely.
So my niece is expecting a baby. So, and I think I didn't have a pattern or anything for it, but I've always loved red pepper. Is it red pepper quilts?
Yes.
I've always.
Oh yeah, very, very busy.
Yes. I've always loved her. She has a blog. If you don't know, it's worth looking up because she's got some beautiful
very
quilts.
inspiring.
Really,
isn't it?
yeah. So these are half square rectangles, which are interesting to make.
Yeah.
Because you don't make them they're very different to half square triangles. Because you have to leave a little bit.
Yeah, you do.
But then I use one of the block rulers.
That's it. Well done.
To square them all up. So I love those rulers.
Rectangle.
Yeah, really nice.
Very nice. That's lovely.
So
and then look, it's got the birds on the.
Yeah, here's a nice little bird print on the back. I don't know whose range that is, but it's gorgeous fabric, isn't
lovely,
it?
Isn't it? Very nice.
So it's nice and
lovely. Very nice and fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely binding.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It does need a wash, I think, to just soften it up a bit before I send it to the baby.
Yes.
But that was an enjoyable make.
Very nice.
So that was quilted with a pantograph, and the pantograph was called Splat by Apricot Moon.
Not such a nice name, but there you go.
No. Well, probably ideal for baby, isn't it?
Probably. It's nice though.
Yeah. It's nice. It's like a meander. It's like a souped up meander.
Yeah.
So you won't be able to see it, there's no point in showing. I might put the picture in so you can see
put
it.
Some close up
it's a nice pantograph. So that's the only finish I've got with me. I did finish a cushion, which I gave to my dad.
Lovely.
So following on if you've watched previous episodes, you may have seen the John Wayne quilt. Yes. Well, I had some fabric left over, so I made him a John Wayne cushion. So I took it up recently, and he was thrilled.
Yeah.
So he was thrilled. So he was walking around the house with his cushion on.
Fantastic. Because your dad is about to celebrate a big birthday.
Yes, he's about to be 90.
Yeah.
Just about to be 90, yes. So, yeah. So, of course, we had all of the... he made this film in this year and this film in that year. And how many films he's made and all the rest. And lots of info about it.
He's a real aficionado.
He is, I think. Aficionado. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Anyway, so he was very happy. But I'll put a picture in so you can see it because we hadn't vlogged before. Vlogged? Podcasted?
Vlogged. Whatever this is.
Made a video. So that's a couple of finishes. So I don't think I've done anything else.
No.
It's been slow January.
January's not been a fast month for me at all, really.
Although we've done quite a few things, it seems a lot slower than other months, but hey ho, there we go. So I did finish the Christmas quilt that somebody suggested we make.
I'll go and get mine, shall I?
Have you seen this? She says on Instagram. Isn't this lovely? We could do this, couldn't we? Yes. So we get together. We had a sewing Sunday. We had a couple of sewing Sundays actually. So we have done that over Christmas.
Yeah, we did have a few of those. Sunday morning.
Nice. So 2 or 3 hours, depending on what we had available. And yes, let's make this quilt. So how many did you make? How many blocks did you make? Yes, 12.
There's a reason. How many did you do?
I did the whole quilt because
she's an overachiever. She's just an overachiever.
So it's a gnome pattern. So before you ask, it's not a tree, because some people have said, oh, it looks like a tree.
No,
They did. They said it looked like a tree.
Oh no,
that's
not on. Where are we?
So this is a...
We're not going to get it all in, are we?
We're not. No, we'll put a picture.
Let's get the gnomes.
You got like a gnome block and like a poinsettia type thing, snowball type thing.
These?
Yes.
Seriously?
Snowflake?
I did what? I think I did 9 for mine. I felt like I was losing the will to live by the end of them. I really did.
There's 12 big blocks and 20 of these. And these things took forever. They did. But I love it. It's cute.
It is super cute. It really is.
Super cute.
I'll go and get mine. And I'll show you mine.
So this is a pattern. Now then, who is it by? It's Annie's Patterns. And what was the name of the... I have to look it up because I don't remember that. I think it's called...
I tell you what, while you're doing that...
for the Holidays, I believe it
I will go and get my version, then we can maybe talk about that bit again.
Yeah. It's called Quilted Gnomes for Your Home. And it was a PDF download from Annie's Quilting. And it's a book. It's a book of different patterns. And I want to say there's something like 20 or so patterns. No, there's... got that complete wrong. 9. There's 9 patterns in it. But all to do with gnomes. And
you keep it going.
There's some gorgeous ones, really, really pretty quilts in there. So gnomes and mushrooms and all sorts of little woodland type things too. So it's worth getting. It wasn't expensive, was it?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't at all.
But I thoroughly enjoyed making that.
See, she's moaning, but she did enjoy it.
I did enjoy making it. Yes.
So my version, I went slightly darker in my grey. And there we go, that way around. Slightly darker with the grey. And there's 4. Nice. 3 red and 1 green.
Yeah.
Now, I started this, I suggested it to Tracy, and then I started using this fabric. And, because I thought, it's quite fiddly, so I might only make 1. Anyway, I made the 4 and really, really enjoyed it. And I would really like to go on and do more. But I ran out of the grey and then went on this quest to try and find a match for this grey. I have no idea where I bought it. I've tried Macara, I've tried painted palettes.
Is it Kona? It looks like
I
Kona
think it might be a Kona.
I think it's Kona.
So that would be my last option. But I've got everything ready. I haven't given up hope.
No.
I've got everything ready and kept everything to one side that I can make some more.
You're into this dark background at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah.
But it looks good because everything's really standing out
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I really like that.
So I really enjoyed it.
Would you put snowflakes, poinsettias?
I don't know what
they're supposed to represent. Anyway, I like them, didn't you?
they're a pain in the bum, whatever they mean. They were just like little, they're like 1 inch, I think you put like 1 inch squares and...
It's a half snowball kind of thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh.
Yours are better than mine, I think.
Oh! Oh, they are actually.
I got fed up with mine as well.
Yeah, I got really fed up with them.
Oh, they're not too bad.
No.
There's a lot of matching involved at some point.
There was.
So, yeah.
Anyway, there we go.
So that's off.
Thoroughly enjoyable.
It needs a quilt.
So you need to get that quilted up then. You can do a pantograph on it, or have you not got that far yet?
To be honest, I quite fancied the idea of doing something kind of like coming up and spiralling down the hat, coming across, doing a nose, and then doing some
beard, like a beard or something. Yeah,
maybe a beard kind of thing like that. I don't know. Which means that would be freehand.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do that.
You love it. Not. Yeah.
It requires time and patience.
Yes.
Neither of which I have. Which is why I normally put a panto on, just to get the thing out the way and done.
That's very nice, though. It's lovely.
Right. So yeah. So
well done for doing 12. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Pat on the back there. Pat on the back.
Excuse me.
Have you got anything else to show?
Just a little.
Okay. Do you want to do that one? Or
I can. Yeah. So obviously with my classes, you have to try and come up with a different thing each month for them to do this. They lose interest like monsters and need constantly feeding, don't you, all of you lot out there? I can see you. So in the January, somebody bought me a template over Christmas that I thought, actually I quite fancy that idea. So it was based on English paper piecing shapes.
Yeah.
But for English paper piecing, you have the paper shape inside, and then you fold the fabric over, and you either tack it or glue it.
Yeah.
And then you stitch them together.
Yeah.
So it was using the English paper piecing shapes, but almost deconstructing them. So separating them out a little bit.
Right.
Now this is a work in progress, because this is actually about to be turned into a little bag. But this was based on the English paper piecing shape, and then we've just pulled it apart with about 1/4 inch gap between it, and then you can't see it, but it's got a lovely sort of feather stitch going round.
That is gorgeous. I love the feather stitch. So it's a nice way to use your decorative stitches on the machine, isn't it?
Yeah, so it sort of ticked a few boxes for us. We used heat and bond or bond web to stick it down and get it into position. This was just 2 strips of fabric joined together, and then the shape was cut out from it like that.
Nice.
So I was trying to encourage them to think out of the box a little bit.
So when you've got the template in, so you're pressing it onto
the template? So
there's
no template, no. So we cut the shape, we traced the shape onto the heat and bond.
Yes.
And then just stuck it onto the back of the fabric and then cut it out
on
the line.
Right. But using the template.
The shape.
Yeah.
So that was that one, and then I had a little go with
the clam.
With the clam. So that's it.
Excellent.
That's my bag. Yeah.
And
a nice technique actually. I prefer the applique.
Yeah. I was trying to decide. I'm not a fan of reverse.
No, I'm not either.
No.
And in fact, I did a class on the Friday, and I was moaning about the technique and saying, I really don't like it. I really don't like it. It's too much potential to go wrong. And this little voice at the back of the class went, is that what we're doing in class on Monday? I was like, oh God, I'd forgotten you hadn't done it yet.
Oh no. No.
Anyway, so yeah, quite a nice technique.
You're very good to them doing all of those. So it's a lot of work.
Nice. What else you got?
I have a little quilt top that I finished. This was on one of our sewing Sundays. So another little girly quilt.
Oh, that's lovely.
And just very simple.
Nice.
Like
it's a 9 patch, isn't it?
That's it. It's an offset 9 patch.
Yeah.
Just in a series of pinks, and the background is black and white. So different black and whites. Yeah. So.
Very nice.
It's a shame. I wish I had some of that to do the binding, but I don't have enough.
They've run out?
Yeah, I don't have enough now, so that's enough. So I can't even think where I got this from a long time. This was a quilt block that's been knocking around the cupboard for quite some while, I have to say. So I thought, right, time to pull that out and finish it off.
Lovely.
I'd like to finish a few UFOs this
year.
Albeit I want to call them this year.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I actually don't have that many, I'll be honest now. So I've got quite a few tops that need quilting, but actual quilts in progress are coming down now.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, good for you.
Which is quite nice. Quite nice, isn't it, to see them? And there's a few I'm actually not even going to bother with. They can go straight to charity or somewhere, or someone else who wants to finish those off, because I don't want to waste my time.
No.
You know?
No, I know exactly.
They don't excite me at all. I have no. I don't think. No, I just don't want to finish them.
Okay, fine.
That's it. I like coming to you.
No.
Okay, so I am done.
I think that's all I've got as well.
Okay,
today,
so what I've done is we're about to start a new what have we got?
Quilt-along.
New
quilt-along.
Quilt-along, which we're doing in conjunction. I think we need some wine or something.
Don't make it worse.
So we're doing a quilt-along in conjunction with Fibre Hustle and the Wool Patch. So Chip from Fibre Hustle and Stuart from the Wool Patch. And it's going to be the Adventurer's Mariner's Compass. We're going to start this in spring of 22, which is not too long away.
Not far away now. No,
so
exactly.
Spring 22 sounded a long time ago when we first thought about
it. I know
it did.
So, it's come around.
But by the time this video comes out, that will have been announced.
Yes.
So I feel comfortable in showing you what we're going to do.
Yay!
So this is the sample block. And this is a 16-point Mariner's Compass using the Robin Long template. So
Robin Ruth
Designs. And Robin Long is the designer, and her company is Robin Ruth Designs.
Yeah.
And she's got a couple of fabulous templates that help you produce this Mariner's Compass using literally straight lines. All you're doing is sewing straight lines. There's no inset seams.
There's no paper piecing.
No paper piecing.
It's all strips, isn't it?
Strips of fabric. Fabrics. And the way you
really
use the template, you cut the angles to make the Mariner's Compass that you want. And you can make a 16-point. This is called the Fat Robin design. There's a Skinny Robin design, which uses a different template, and there is a 32-point compass, which is obviously twice as many points as there is on this one, because this is 16. So you can take this simple, or you can take it a little bit more complex.
Whatever you like.
So we're going to be doing that. So really it is a sew along, isn't it?
Yes.
We're going to show you how to make a block. I mean, there's plenty of tutorials on the Robin Ruth website and YouTube channel, so there is plenty of information there that you can go away and look at.
Actually, she's really good.
But I think having made a few samples now, I don't know, I've looked at some of the tutorials, not all of them, but I've found a few things that might be useful to other people, for other people to know about, to help them along. So that's the idea. We're going to show you what our experience is of making it. And then we can just join in and make as many blocks as you would like.
But it's your own design.
It's your own design.
Or you can use one of her designs. She's got lots of patterns that are available. She's got some freebies. But you can either use that, or you can use it as a starting point and make your own quilt.
And go your own way.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. So this is the sample. I wanted it nice and bright. This is not the quilt I'm going to be making though.
No.
So I just wanted people to be able to see the points.
Absolutely.
I think you can see
very
the points.
Nice
I think you can see the
very
points.
Very nice points.
So that was fun to make. You've made a couple of samples of
I have, yes. But mine's not quite finished, so I've got to put the centre on mine, so I'm not going to show mine until I've got it.
Yeah, she has got a couple of choices on centre, so you can do a round centre or you can do a square centre, can't you?
You can.
Which is a little interesting too. And then, depending on how you inset it, you can inset it into a similar coloured background. So this is, the background here is the turquoise colour. If that was set into a turquoise background, it will look completely different again.
So it would.
Lots of options.
Very nice.
Lots of options.
Yeah, very nice.
So that will be starting soon. And we will be kicking that off in the next week or so. So if you fancy joining in with that, it's not too late if it's already started. It's more than welcome to join us. It's all going to be run on Facebook as well. So which is a bit different for me. I am not a Facebook fan.
No, I've got Facebook, but I don't really, really use it. No. So it's going to be interesting.
It is going to be interesting. So
there we go.
It allows us to do more things than Instagram does.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, greater numbers.
Greater numbers, exactly.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will be something you might be of interest.
So keep a look out.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So I am out of quilting projects.
Okay, me too. I saw something the other day, and I wanted to just sort of get your viewpoint on it. Actually, I don't know if you saw it, but Mary Fons.
Oh.
Mary Fons.
I did see it.
So Mary Fons is the daughter of Marianne Fons, who are Fons and Porter, who were big, for anybody who doesn't know, big names in quilt TV shows, weren't they?
Yeah.
So it was Fons and Porter, and then Mary's obviously Fons's daughter. Did I say that right? Mary. She's Marianne Fons's daughter, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. Yes.
Having a moment. Anyway, recently she came out very, very publicly against people chopping up quilts
to make quilted
clothes, which are obviously quite popular at the moment. A lot of quilted jackets going around, things like that. And she's a very, very articulate lady.
She is.
Very, very sharp. But very, very upset about the fact that these quilts are getting cut up. I just wondered what your thoughts were about this subject.
No,
I'll put you on the spot here.
No, funny you should say that, because I was thinking about that the other week. Actually.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were going to ask me that.
No, I know you didn't.
I did see the video, and I did watch it all the way through, and no, I wasn't upset by the fact that people are cutting up quilts initially. I'm going to add that word initially.
Okay.
My thought was a lot of quilts get left because people are not interested in them. If you're not into quilting, I've got family members who really couldn't give two ticks about it.
Doesn't mean anything, does it?
Nothing to them.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely of the opinion, once you have given a quilt to someone, it's up to them what they do with it.
Yeah.
So if they choose, and I hope they don't, but if they did choose to use it in a garage to protect themselves while they're under a car,
yes,
I have to let it go. I've given it away with love.
Yeah.
If they've chosen to do something like that, then I've chosen the wrong person to give it to.
And you certainly wouldn't be giving them another one.
It would definitely not.
In the future.
If I found out.
Yes.
If I found out. But quilts are interesting. Not everybody likes them as much as you and I do, or the other members of the quilting community.
Yeah.
So no, initially I wasn't particularly upset, because there are an awful lot of quilts in the world, particularly in America. I would have thought probably huge numbers.
Yeah.
So yeah, is it nice that they're actually getting out there, and it's nice that the world of fashion is seeing quilts. It's not the first time quilted items have been used.
It's a new light, maybe,
but it's new to a new generation is now seeing this as a fashion trend.
Yeah.
I think it's quite nice in so much that it's giving them an awakening to history, and what and how quilts were used. Possibly, if they might be interested. Probably not. They're just thinking this is a fashion statement. I'm not really sure, but I kind of think if you're a fashion student, you would be interested to know more about them.
Yeah.
So the very fact that quilts are coming out, so to speak, and more people are aware, the awareness levels are increased. I think that's great. Am I upset that old quilts are being used? Partially I am, because there's some treasures out there, and there's some beautiful quilts that have been cut up, but not in all cases. It is history, but not in all cases.
Yeah.
As I said, as we just said, you get the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to quilt.
Yeah.
For other people, I've seen bad quilts. They are very much loved, but they're only loved by the person that that have made it, or the person they are giving it to, if they are a quilt lover.
Yeah.
For other people, it has no meaning.
Yeah.
So, are they going to sit in a corner or a cupboard or in a warehouse or a barn doing nothing?
Is it better that they're used for something?
The part of me says that.
Yeah.
What I don't agree with is that they are using the sustainability type under foundation. They're saying, this is a great way of using something old to make something new. well, you could make that from old clothes. You could actually cut up old clothes and still make patchwork.
Yeah.
And you could reduce the
landfill.
fashion mountains that are building, you know. So I think it would be nice to use that, but they wouldn't do that because the cost involved in actually making the patchwork in the first place is going to be prohibitive to making fast fashion.
Yes.
So
I think a lot of the items are quite high end.
Well,
garments.
But places like Target have had.
Have they?
Yeah, in the States they've had quilted jackets and things. I'm not sure whether they are using old quilts. I suspect they're using fabrics that look like old quilts.
I would say so. Yeah.
So you know that in many ways is a you know, because it's an imitation. You know, flattery is the best form of imitation is the best form of flattery.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure if that's true as a statement, but
no.
it's one way of looking at it. So I do have mixed feelings. What's your feeling about it?
I would hate to think that some beautiful old vintage quilt, you know, has been cut up to make a garment that's perhaps going to be worn once or twice and then thrown away. I thought it was interesting to see the two arguments. And I did notice that Luke Haynes, I don't know if you follow Luke Haynes on Instagram.
I didn't. Did he reply? I didn't see him reply.
Well, he posted a picture of himself in a quilted suit and jacket, I think it was.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, which I thought was quite interesting. I'd hate to see something beautiful cut up, but likewise, like you say, you know, is it better for it to be used than for it to be sat in a corner? I can see it from both sides.
I can definitely see it from both sides. I mean, but the sustainability argument is definitely a no-go in my book. I think there's too many clothes out there in the world that could be used to make other things. You don't need to cut up old quilts when they are already a thing. They are already an item in their own right, aren't they? But I don't know.
No. Have you got any views?
Have you got an opinion on it?
Let us know. Put it in the comments below what your thoughts are. And
one of the things that struck me more than anything over that was the passion.
Absolutely. I'll put a link to the video. Go and have a watch.
Such passion for a topic.
Absolutely.
And dare I say this, it made me question my own passion for quilting.
Right. Okay.
I had to go back and think about how much did I love what I was doing. Would I have been as passionate? And she was very, very upset.
She was very much so.
Very upset that.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
interesting more than one way.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's us. I think
it is.
I think we're done.
Yes.
For this session. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. Hopefully you've got a little bit of inspiration maybe to go off and do something or got an idea.
Yeah, that'd be great if you showed us what you're going to make as well. We've never asked for that. We do have an Instagram page. We have a Curly Seams Instagram page, and if you actually put hashtag Curly Seams, we can see what you're making.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would.
Yeah,
that'd be really good. Really good.
Okay.
So thank you very much for dropping by.
If you have liked what you've seen today, please give us a little like down below, a little thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. That would be amazing.
That would be really nice.
And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah, hope we'll be back in a couple of weeks with another video.
Yeah,
don't hold your breath. Okay. Just saying, just keep those expectations real.
You know what we're like.
Anyway, thanks for watching.
Take care.
Next time. Bye for now.
Bye.